Fall is all about cozy comforts, and with Hero Bread, you can enjoy all your favorites and still hit your health goals. From breakfast bagels and meal prepped enchiladas to mouth-watering burgers and cheesy noodles. You won't believe Hero Bread's options have 0 to 5 grams net carbs and are high fiber from the taste and texture. And right now, Hero Bread is offering 10% off your order. Go to hero.co and use code FALL25 at checkout. That's FALL25 at HERO.co. All figures are per serving of Hero Bread. Contains 2 to 18 grams of fat per serving. See the product nutrition panels on hero.co for more information.
At Arizona State University, we've made online education better, smarter, and more personalized so you can go further in your aspiring field.
I decided to pursue medicine once I realized that ASU did have the online program for biological sciences. You're still required to learn the same curriculum. You're still being tested on the same content that anyone would be tested on in person. The comprehensiveness of the program prepared me so well for medical school.
Explore over 350 plus programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
AFR On Demand is brought to you by Breck Golf. Try Beaver Creek today, just 20 minutes from downtown Baton Rouge in the Zachary area. They've got a PGA Tour driving range, a short game practice area, 30 to 40-yard practice shots. It's a great place to chip and putt and practice if you don't have time for a full round. Book your tee time today, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride! You can't handle the
Riot Radio Hour.
Let's do that again.
Guess who's back again?
I want some more.
The Riot Radio Hour.
Well, let's start the insanity. Giddy up.
With Matt Moscona and Ryan Theriot.
Let me find out your
Hour 3, up we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Mary Jane Muser. And Terry. We're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there. Make it a good one. We do have some breaking news in college football. Just before we were going to the top of the hour, we were talking about how the Ole Miss fans are bitching about Lane Kiffin tampering and stealing all their players and guys going in the portal here in the 11th hour. And the point that I have been making is, twofold. Number one, do you think Lane Kiffin just learned all of these tactics now? He was doing the exact same thing as the portal king when he was at Ole Miss. They didn't mind it when he was there.
No.
When he's paying Walter Nolan out of his contract with Texas A&M, but when he's getting players out of Ole Miss, now they hate it. Now he's awful, he's evil, he's a snake, he's all these things. When 2 months ago they wanted to build him a statue and they had a contract making him the highest paid coach in college football on his desk, but now he's evil. It's amazing, the hypocrisy. But the other point that I made was, this is the market. You have agents looking out for their players to say, okay, well, where is there an opportunity? And the exact example I just gave you before the top of the hour was Miami at quarterback.
Yep.
So Miami had, and by the way, this isn't speculative. Ty Simpson said this. Ty Simpson had multiple offers, including one from Ole Miss. Mm-hmm. Funny how that works. They're okay with that, right? They're okay with offering Ty Simpson. When Ty Simpson is enrolled at Alabama, hasn't formally entered the portal or formally entered the draft, they're offering him a $4 million contract. Weird. That's okay, though, right?
Yeah.
Weird.
That's
okay.
good.
Got it. That's okay. Got it. But not when your guys go in the portal because other teams trying to get your play. Got it. Okay. But my point was, the market is going to dictate opportunity. Miami doesn't have a quarterback. Miami offered Ty Simpson 6'5". He's going to the draft anyway. So agents, smartly, who are the agents for quarterbacks, are looking going, Miami needs a quarterback. And they just offer Ty Simpson 6'5".
And they got money.
They got money and they're desperate. Hey, you want me to call Miami? Like, you interested? Well, So it just happened. I mean, the portal closes tonight. Darian Mensah, who in 2024 was at Duke. I'm sorry, 2024 was at Tulane. Spent this year at Duke.
Yeah.
Made $3 million to go be the quarterback at Duke. Darian Mensah, just on 3, breaking, hitting the transfer portal.
Oh, he gone.
Do not contact tag. Destination, Miami.
South Beach.
Miami got their guy.
He's good too, by the way.
And the day the portal's closing. So now what's Duke going to do? I don't know. But they're up a creek. Now they don't have a quarterback. So what do? Does somebody else jump in the portal and this perpetual cycle goes? And I understand people are going to look at that and go, that sucks. It's not good for the sport. You figure that out. The rules are what they are. They want to change it? Change it. Okay. I mean, how does that work? Look, I don't know. The product on field in college football has never been better than it is right now. You have more parity. You have an equal distribution of the wealth of talent. Indiana can win a championship. It's an amazing product on the field.
It is.
So you may hate it from January to August, and that's fine if you do. But this is exactly the point I'm making. An agent looked at this opportunity where Miami had money to spend, desperately needed a quarterback. So on Darian Mensah's behalf, calls Miami and says, "Hey, you want to talk to my guy? What's the number?" Okay, hey Darren, you interested? Let's go. Boom. Good for you. Go get your bag, kid. Like, this is what's happening. It's as easy. It's as easy as anything to spot. But Ole Miss people don't like that it's happening to their roster. But it literally is happening to everywhere.
I mean, you're saying Ole Miss, and we're talking about Ole Miss because obviously we got their coach and they're in an uproar and whatever. But this is a problem. Scratch that situation happening everywhere. I mean, what you just said with Duke is real. You could go from being a contender, knocking on the door of the playoff with certain players, and at the last minute, like, it's over. Somebody swoops in, and the money thing, and I think that's where I think you need to figure out, or at least there should be some sort of, like, I know they tried with the rev share deal, but you got to know when a team's out of money, or like when other teams have money to spend. At least at that point, you could plan a little bit better. And you may know, for instance, a quarterback could be on the hot seat, could be leaving. You know, that's the hard part for me getting past that is there is no planning really in that regard. You just don't know how much cash folks have.
Well, that goes back to the other convo we were having, which is I don't think it matters necessarily how much cash they have. I think it's very clearly a situation where a lot of programs are promising on the front end and they'll figure it out as they go. A potential issue, though, is if you promise on the front end and you can't deliver, then you garner that reputation. That word is going to spread.
What happens?
It's going to be harder to get players.
What happens if you don't deliver?
Well, I think you have to, based on the terms of whatever contracts. Now, here's the interesting thing.
Can a school go bankrupt because they didn't pay the guy?
Well, no. So you got to keep in mind. So and I do think there's a lot of I think there's still a lot of I'm sure how to say this, lack of knowledge from people on how all of these payments are going to work, right? So really there's two ways that players are being paid.
Okay.
You have revenue share and you have third-party NIL.
Right.
So revenue share is the $20.5 million that an athletic department can spend in the fiscal year. So this is July 1 to June 30. Okay? And that's $20.5 million to spend across all sports.
Where did they get that money from?
From their revenue. This is revenue. This is athletic department revenue.
What if your school doesn't make 20?
Then you can't spend 20.
Okay.
So like
that's the max.
That's the most you can spend. So all the major schools are going to spend 20.5.
Yeah.
So the most you can spend is 20.5.
Okay.
And that's among all sports. Most are spending about 75% of that, roughly $15 million on football. So let's say all the power schools effectively have $15 million salary, using that loosely, to spend on football. Mm-hmm. How you go above that number is going to be sort of the sliding scale that's the differentiator. What LSU did a year ago that was very smart, when Bryce Underwood flipped, remember there was this frenzy and they started, a bunch of pissed off donors started funding the collective. Mm-hmm. It was like, man, I can't believe we lost this guy. What do you need? And so for the first time, LSU realized, man, donors realized we have to do better at supporting the collective and funding the roster. Brian Kelly did his $1 million match. People love to criticize Brian Kelly. They don't love to credit him for the good things he did. He did put up $1 million of his own money and generated $1 million plus match of that money. So give the man credit where it's due. Criticize him where it's warranted, but you got to give credit where it's due as well. But what they did in being so liquid last year was they were able to front load the roster. So when RevShare went live July 1 of 25, this past July, LSU had already funded their roster with the money that they had raised from the collective. So you could no longer pay for the collective July 1, but they had already paid their roster. So they didn't have to touch their RevShare money.
Yeah, so you got football. $15 million, you can whatever.
You got an extra $15 million. So now this portal cycle, they've got all the rev share for 25 that they haven't touched. Knowing also July 1,
they get another 15.
That cycles now. The first 15 doesn't carry over. You got to spend it. You don't get to roll it into next year. But it allows you to spend now, to front load now. And then you can perpetually front load. What's interesting about this right now for LSU is if they wanted to, you could basically spend 30. Now, you wouldn't have the opportunity to front load next year at this time, but you got the 15 from this year. The 15 that's going to reset July 1. Boom, there's 30 right there. If you want to spend 30.
Of rev share money.
Of rev share.
Yeah.
On this roster. And then on top of that, you have your third-party NIL. And this is the thing I think that is maybe the most confusing for people.
This is confusing to me.
So I get asked the question all the time, how can you guarantee rev share? Well, in a literal sense, you contractually can't. But you can tell them through negotiations, this is what we think you're worth, knowing if you're LSU, for example, because LSU has done an outstanding job of this, of building deals already through their multimedia rights partner. Actually, let's stay on time. Let me break. We'll come back and we'll dive into this further because I do think people want to understand how this works. So I'll try to make this as simple as possible how LSU is getting so far ahead in third-party NIL. Okay, we'll do that when we continue here. It's AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
After further review.
Brought to you by Clegg's Nursery, 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Sigourney Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, Garden Center on Greenwell Springs, which you love.
That place is...
Oh, are you going to pass? When you go to Live Oak today, are you going to pass Denham?
Don't tempt me with a good time.
Go get you some citrus trees?
I'd love to get a Dippledania or two.
No, I don't think it's that season yet. That's what Erica puts by the pool whenever we get to the spring and the summer.
It's always Dippledania season
I don't think it is. Oh, yeah. That's not what you want to be planting right now. You want to be, because this cool weather, you want to get those shrubs planted. You want to get those citrus trees planted. Those crotons, you want to get those in the ground right now.
It's a good time to plant grass, too, by the way.
It is. Actually, This is the best time to plant sod.
If you're thinking about resodding your yard, this is the time to do it.
4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Tell you every day to buy local and shop local. Tell them Matt sent you in to Clegg's Nursery.
Fall is all about cozy comforts, but when you're prioritizing your health, it's easy to feel like you're missing out. With Hero Bread, you can enjoy all your fall favorites because they're made with Hero Bread sliced bread loaves, tortillas, bagels, dinner rolls, and more. Try their all-new Hero Noodles with 12 grams of protein and just 80 calories. You won't believe Hero Bread's options have 0 to 5 grams net carbs and are high fiber from the taste and texture. They've even got small batch drops of indulgent favorites like the popular Hero Croissant. And right now, Hero Bread is offering 10% off your order. Go to hero.co and use code FALL25 at checkout. That's FALL25 at hero.co. All figures are per serving of Hero Bread. Contains 2 to 18 grams of fat per serving. See the product nutrition panels on hero.co for more information.
At Arizona State University, we're bringing world-class education from our globally acclaimed faculty to you. Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Big shout out to Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com, lmfj.com. E-Rock and I had our 14th anniversary on Tuesday. Got a big old diamond ring.
Not a boy.
Big giant diamond ring.
It's a big 14, big 1-4.
I'm lying. I didn't remember.
It deserves it.
I didn't do that.
In the little red box.
20 year. What's the big? Is 25 the big one? That's the silver, yeah?
Whichever one you make it, man.
20. Yeah, that's true. Celebrate them all.
Yeah, you should
thrill
celebrate.
her with a gift in the red box from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Mm-hmm. Could I get a ring as big as your San Francisco Giants World Championship ring right there? How much do you think that's worth? Have you had that appraised?
Yeah, I did. I don't remember.
Are those real diamonds?
These are real diamonds. Tiffany made this ring. Mm-hmm.
Like, I think we're alone now, Tiffany?
Yeah.
You used to like that one. You heard him? You used to like that one. You thought that was good. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com, lmfj.com. I want to get back into the rev share convo in just a second. Actually, we're going to talk about and explain the third-party NIL, how those dollars are working. This is new, completely expected, but Andy Staples over at On3 reporting, among others, that Trinidad Chambliss is suing to get a 6th year of eligibility. So we know that he has, the NCAA has multiple times denied his waiver for a medical red shirt. This was expected, but now he has filed suit in a Mississippi state court. And obviously, if you'd filed in federal court, he's not likely to win. In Mississippi, state judges are elected officials. So naturally, in the state of Mississippi,
yeah, if they want to get reelected, you better grant it to him.
That's the point.
Yeah.
So he'll get an injunction, and he'll play the season while waiting for this to go to trial, which it likely never will. I think if Chambliss is not playing for Ole Miss next year, it's because he goes to the NFL draft. So it'll be interesting to see what type of feedback that he gets from the NFL.
Do you like him in the draft? I really like him in the draft.
I'm torn. And by the way, for those wondering about, because the draft deadline passed yesterday, that's for underclassmen. So he's a senior, so he would be in the draft if he's not if he doesn't win this injunction. So he is draft eligible, I guess is what we could say. So I'm a little torn because my eyes tell me, man, he's dynamic and he processes so quickly and he throws well on the run. But it's just hard for me to get past the fact that he's a guy that's 5'10". There's a reason you don't see a lot of NFL quarterbacks that size. And I mean, Kyler Murray had elite athleticism, first overall pick, struggled. Baker Mayfield struggled for a lot of his career after being the first overall pick. He's found a rhythm now later in his career. He's 30 years old, but it's a reason you just don't see a lot of these dudes, man. Like Breeze is a 6 foot tall quarterback, and Breeze bigger than Chambliss. So it feels like a really big risk just because of the physical skill set. But then you see Mitchell Trubisky, who's a giant human with a rocket launcher, and he stinks. Can't play.
Yeah, he's brutal.
So I'm a little torn on him, man. I would love him on my team. Probably not as with the Saints picking 8th. I wouldn't be cool saying make the 8th overall pick investment. You're going to make a day 2, like a 3rd round pick. Like the Eagles taking a flyer on Jalen Hurts in round 2. It's a pretty big investment, a round 2 pick. You expect a round 2 pick to play for you, but there's less of an investment in a 2nd round quarterback than a top 15 quarterback. Yeah. You know what I mean?
No, it makes sense.
So, what about you?
I mean, I would love for him to be the Saints quarterback. I think he makes good decisions. I mean, how much of it is the guys calling the plays and the offense around him, and he had good players around him. But I think he makes good decisions, and I think he's a heck of a player.
I mean, he's a lot. Look, size wise, all the stuff the comp is that a lot of people bring up is Russ, right? And he was a 3rd round pick of Seattle, and stuck. He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
What kind of money is a 3rd round right now?
It's weird because you'll get a good signing bonus. But your average annual salary is going to be $400,000 or $500,000. It's not.
Is there a world where he goes back for his 6th year, does the same thing he did this year, and is a top 10 pick, or does the size
maybe
could he improve? I guess what I'm saying is if he replicated this year, because I don't know that he could improve on. He had
let's say he was the 90th pick, so the 90th pick, which would be back of round 3. The 90th pick, the contract is $6.7 million. That's over 4 years. 6.7 over 4 years. Okay. So like year 1, 1.2, then 1.5, then 1.8, then 2.1. Mm-hmm. That's if you're a back of round 3. And that's before you pay your agent, before you pay taxes. I'm
just trying to think about like what realistically he would make in college next year. And
$5-6 million bucks.
Yeah.
It's a going rate for a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So we were talking, if you're just joining us, thanks for being there. Friday show is brought to you by Don Juan Cigar Bar. As a matter of fact, our friends over at Don Juan literally right now are partnering with our friends at Bocock Brothers Premium Cigars, and they are hand-rolling cigars at Don Juan this afternoon. So cool event. You want to go get a hand-rolled cigar at Don Juan, get on by. It's their friends at Don Juan Cigar Bar. So we were talking about rev share, and the other component of the financial part here is the third-party NIL. And according to the NCAA rules, you cannot contractually guarantee third-party NIL, right? You can talk to these players about what you think their worth is, what you think you can do for them, but you can't put in writing, we're guaranteeing you this in third-party
You can't
NIL.
like show them the deal. If they had so if LSU had, deals set up with Canes, for instance. And,
they do.
And yeah, so we know we have X from Canes for players. You couldn't say you're going to get one of the Canes deals.
I think you can't contractually write that.
Okay. All right.
But certainly those conversations are had. So this is a good point. This happened. This is very common.
This is slimy, dude, because
this isn't slimy. I mean, hang on. No. Hey, let me explain, because this isn't. Well, finish your point.
If you can't put it in a contract, then how do you hold the company's feet to the fire if it's not contractual?
So I think sometimes deals fall apart if you have more guaranteed money at a certain place or whatever the case may be. I mean, look at what happened with DeMond Williams right up at Washington, where he was going to go in the portal, but the Big Ten had a waiver process or a buyout process whereby the money they guaranteed him was $4 million over whatever length of time, and he would have had to buy out that entire amount. That's why I stayed at Washington. But with third-party NIL, this, for anyone who works in marketing, this will make sense. If you don't work in marketing, I'll explain this as easily as I can. It's very common for businesses to hire a marketing agency, okay? And the agency, so the business will give the agency a budget. So let's just take Canes, okay? Canes is a great sponsor of ours. Like, we're literally in the Raising Canes studio, okay? Todd Graves didn't, we didn't call Todd Graves and say, hey, do you want to be the Raising Canes studio sponsor? You know what I mean? Like, they have a marketing department at Canes. And so the marketing department has a budget, and they go spend their budget for whatever type of distribution they want in whatever markets, okay? So we're using Canes. But it could be any business. Like, a business sometimes will hire an agency and tell this agency, I have $1 million to spend on marketing for 2026. Here's my marketing budget. Go spend it and make my business good.
Blow it up.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
And so then that marketing agency is tasked with buying radio and TV and social media and digital and SEO and all the different things, right? So the marketing agency handles that for their client. So in that lens, think of LSU. So LSU, and this is the thing that LSU did that was brilliant. And they have been working on this for nearly 2 years now, putting all these protocols in place, preparing for this. LSU has a multimedia rights partner. That's MMR, multimedia rights partner, which is Playfly. So all of the properties that LSU has, the LSU Sports Radio Network, the signage you see in the stadium, all of that is outsourced to Playfly. So Playfly goes and sells all of that. So Playfly has the relationship with Coca-Cola and Super Chevy dealers and all the businesses, right? Okay, and Playfly has that deal with many, many, many different colleges and university athletic departments, okay? So LSU went to Playfly a year and a half ago, whatever, 2 years ago, and said, hey, you're selling our radio and our signage and our the court naming right and everything. Could you do this for our athletes as well? Like when third-party NIL comes into play. Well, sure. So if you have a deal, so if Playfly gets a, let's say Raising Canes, Canes has their marketing budget for whatever that is. And not just in Baton Rouge. I mean, Canes is a giant company
worldwide
that has businesses, that has stores in every market. So they're going to spend all over. But we're using Canes because they're here. So Canes may tell Playfly, we've got $1 million to spend with LSU in 2026. And I don't know the number, by the way. I'm not saying that's a hard and fast number. I'm just throwing out a round number, okay? So Canes could give Playfly $1 million and say, give me what you can give us to own the LSU space for $1 million for the year, okay? And part of that is probably signage and radio spots, and whatever, right? And part of that is going to be NIL. Okay. So you sign Sam Levitt, and you tell Sam, hey, we can't put this in writing, but we feel really good that we're going to have da-da-da-da-da-da lined up for you. Because they know they've already got it through NIL LSU Max. And that's where I keep saying LSU was so progressive in this space because, in the spring, Clay Harris was here as LSU's chief revenue officer, and he explained this. So I'm not telling you anything that's like covert information. He explained this. And in the spring, he told us they had been working for, 18 months on this. This was in the spring, last spring, knowing this was coming. And so LSU was so far out in advance of this to start working on the NIL LSU Max program. And it's not just the giant deals. There's local market deals as well. And so part of what LSU has done is offered any business that does a deal through NIL LSU Max, they're like, we'll produce your spot for you. Because there's an expense that goes, this, that goes along. You want to produce a commercial? There's an expense. Yeah. You want to do a podcast? You got a studio and mics. And LSU's like, no, we have this whole department built out. You see like the whole, like where, they do the photos where like the athletes in the uniform behind that brick wall with the graffiti. Like that's all in the brand, which is in South Stadium. There's a whole floor of South Stadium Club, or I guess of South Stadium offices. That's the brand where they do all this stuff. Mm-hmm. And so any business that does a deal through NIL LSU Max, they'll produce the commercial for you. You can use their space if you want. Their cameras, their editors, their mic, all of it. So I guess all that to say, while a lot of people are figuring out the third-party NIL space, LSU is so far ahead that they've already got that money. They have deals already in place to stack on top of the revenue share.
And this was my question earlier on the third-party stuff. Do the universities have to disclose their third-party amounts? Does anybody know how much other folks have?
Well, so what's really the third-party NIL? No, but what's interesting?
So there's no cap.
No,
I mean a university like LSU could just be really, really, really good at it, and they could just have a ton of. Okay,
but that's where I say if you're an LSU fan. And we're going deep in the weeds. I don't know if this is interesting to people. I hope it is.
It's interesting to me.
But look, I love the business of sports. So I love this stuff. This is really interesting to me. This might be really deep in the weeds, and it's not interesting to a lot of people. So if it's not, I apologize, but I hope I'm giving some context here. But this is where I say, if you love LSU baseball, for example, you could. You're a business owner with any type of marketing budget. You could really help, legitimately help Jay Johnson, because it doesn't take $1 million deal to help baseball, right? It's not to say smaller deals don't help football. Of course they do, or gymnastics, or men's basketball, or Kim Mulkey's team. But baseball at LSU is a rare situation.
How would that local business owner? There's somebody listening right now that's going. Okay, I want to help Jay Johnson. So I love LSU baseball.
This was the whole thing. We did a show a few months back at South Stadium Club when they did the NIL LSU Max. They did a launch event. And they invited business owners there. They had coaches speak, and I did my show there. And we talked to Clay Harris, and we talked to Taylor Jacobs, and we talked to a lot of the people involved with Playfly and that to explain all this. If you're a business owner and you have a marketing budget, you can go to NIL LSU Max, right? The LSU Playfly Max program at LSU, and do just what I said. You can say, hey, look, I have a $10,000 marketing budget. I would love to do something with Stephen Milam? Or what could I get with LSU baseball for this budget? Could I get Jay Johnson and a player, or could I get Derek Curry? And I don't know who. Like, I don't know the numbers, right?
And then they would come up with the creative. When I say they, I mean LSU.
Yeah.
Would come up with the creative and
or if you have those ideas already of what you want to do for the creative, then good. That's what it costs for the endorsement. Whatever it will cost for the endorsement.
Yeah. Huh.
You know. So that's when I say, like,
I've always thought that the grassroots approach, kind of what you're talking about right now, if a community would really rally around that, if the university or NIL LSU Max is what we're talking about, but if they made it easy and understandable, and the hard part is it's just not very easy to understand. So I'm glad you're going in depth. And look, I'm around it as much as anybody, as you know, and I'm still confused about it.
Look, we did at Parrish, we did this year. We've done deals at Parrish Construction and Roofing. We've done deals with baseball.
Yeah.
We did a deal with Kim Mulkey. We've done deals with Michaela Williams and Mylasia Fulwiley for LSU women's basketball. And I don't know if we should disclose it, but it was like super affordable to get Michaela and Mylasia. And they came to a place where we were doing a roofing job. We had a video crew there. We were there for, an hour maybe?
Tops.
They did a video shoot. We had a whole bunch of scripts. They recorded them. And then we had a video editor who edited all those down. And now we have a ton of content of Mylasia and Michaela in Parrish shirts doing so on camera.
It was easy. It was not hard.
And boom. And it was super affordable. My point is, like, those are the types of things that are super easy, that is true, and in the spirit of NIL, that are available. And you can really help the programs that you love. Like, I keep saying it, but LSU baseball is the one that I think probably would benefit the most from that, because baseball at LSU is a place where they demand you win, right? Like, everyone here demands LSU baseball win, and Jay has done that. But you don't have enough rev share money alone to build a roster the way you need to win at the level they need to.
You have,
So you have to get third-party NIL for baseball. And it's the one where the small business owner who has $5 or $10,000 could have a huge impact and don't realize, like, what type of impact they could make.
That's right. They don't.
And that's
communicating that to who, though? The coach? Like, who? So if
we got a break. So I don't communicate what?
That they have availability.
That who has availability?
The business owner that wants to help.
Well, the business owner needs to contact NILSU Max.
I think that's where the
yeah.
That's where you gotta. That needs to be discussed.
That's the opportunity for sure. All right, it's after further review. We're brought to you by First South Farm Credit, firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. Thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. Right now, if you go to the website, firstsouthland.com, they have an awesome resource. It's totally free. I've mentioned this. They have it linked on their Facebook and on their Instagram. They've also got it on the website there at First South Farm Credit. It is a complete and comprehensive guide to buying land. It's the ultimate recreational land buying guide. It's a free resource. If you're thinking of buying land, start there at firstsouthland.com. That's firstsouthland.com for First South Farm Credit. It's firstsouthland.com. Okay, let me knock out a quick break. Speaking of which, the LSU baseball first pitch banquet was last night. I do want to get your flyover of the baseball team, as they're going to start practice a week from today. So we'll do that when we come back. We get to ask Ryan in about a dozen minutes to wrap up the show. Stay with us here on AFR.
AFR.
You know, I've been telling you since we just keep it's a lot of heavy conversations here on a Friday, as most people are going into the weekend. But I guess I can keep educating further. We talked so much here about peptides. I've told you a lot about the success that I've had with my back pain with BPC 157. And we all have peptides in our body, and these peptide therapies effectively just they're amino acids, and they help sort of magnify the job that peptides in your body do. So BPC 157 it's incredible. It's derived from gastric juice. It has been known to help people with a lot of gut health issues, but it also helps with like injury recovery and muscle repair. So I take BPC 157 every day for my lower back pain, and I have not felt this good in literally as long as I can remember. And there are so many things for anxiety and for sleep and for gut health. and for anti-aging, energy. Learn more. YourGoodwood.com.
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
All right, we got to move quickly. We're going to get to Ask Ryan to wrap up the show here in just a smidge. You can email, tweet, text your question, 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Christian Myers on the text line said, Matt, it's actually very interesting when you talk about behind the scenes of NIL. I'm glad to hear that. I don't know if that's a shared opinion, but I think this is something that does interest me. I do know a lot about it, dating back to when NIL first started, because I think I've explained it before, but Match Point was a local business at the start of NIL that was matching athletes and businesses. They launched a podcast with Jonathan Pixley, who asked me to host it. And so at the onset of that, when nobody else was doing that, we were like the only NIL podcast in 5 years ago. And so we had everybody. I mean, we had John Ruiz, the billionaire booster from Miami. We had heads of collectives and head coaches and all different sports and collective directors and athletes. And so we just got very plugged into that world. So it's something I just understand a lot, but it just continues to evolve. Okay. LSU baseball first pitch banquet was last night. Jay's going to meet with reporters a week from today, sort of as the kickoff. They'll start practice. Give me an overview, a 10,000-foot view of what you think for this baseball team.
Man, I'm trying to not be really excited about it. Anytime the team's ranked number one, it's I'd almost rather be like 2, 3, or 4. But
why?
I don't know. You do have some preseason number ones. I think they were 1 in a couple polls and 2 in the other, 2 in another one, but. Look, man, this team is good. You're returning 7 position players. They got significant playing time or were starters. I think according to Jay and the coaches, the catcher that didn't play a whole lot actually had the best fall and early spring. And Aaron Beatty, you've got some serious arms coming back. You got a few guys coming off an injury last year that didn't get to pitch that we had a lot of high hopes for, and so. They did great in the portal. You go pluck a third baseman that you needed, who's a hell of a player, and the only question mark is probably gonna be second base for me at the moment. If there's gonna be any question mark on the baseball field defensively, you want it to be second base. So that's kind of the only real question mark. If you got the best outfield in the country,
where would you give a lean at second?
Tanner Reeves, probably. I think Jack Ruckert's right there, the freshman. Tanner Reeves, you've got some guys. You've got some depth in the infield for sure. So,
Braden Simpson's a transfer. They're going to give a look there as well.
We'll see.
What's that face?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
I'll tell you who I'm really excited about.
Not impressed.
This is who I'm really excited
Okay.
about is Daniel Harden, a name you might remember.
For sure.
From Catholic High, junior college, came in this year, outfielder. To me, Daniel in high school was definitely a draft guy. Did the right thing by going to JUCO so he can get back here. He needed to play a little bit more baseball, but just as electric as they come, when you draw up a baseball player, it's Daniel Harden. It's probably Derek Curiel. Then it's Daniel Harden. You've got an outfield this year it's a professional outfield. That's an outfield that you could just take all 3 of them and put them on a pro team, and they'd be fine. This is a.
You think Stanfield's a pro?
No.
Well, Curiel Brown Stanfield's going to be out. Who am I missing?
I think Harden's going to play.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So the thing with Harden, if you're not familiar, so Daniel played football at Catholic as well. Yeah. So he wasn't a kid that just hyper focused on baseball. And because he wasn't just, and by the way, this is at Catholic where, and this isn't me yelling Catholic High, it's the best program in the state and won short list best in the country. They won the national championship 2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
And so Daniel, not even playing baseball full time, played baseball at Catholic.
It was very good. Yeah.
But his baseball recruitment was behind. He was a wide receiver at Catholic. He was amazing. He was an amazing athlete. but his baseball recruitment was behind because he wasn't playing baseball 12 months out of the year.
That's right.
And so he went JUCO, crushed it, and now is back at LSU. So you think Harden will play out there?
I do.
Ahead of Stanfield.
Yeah,
I think, a veteran, huh?
I think you're gonna. I think ultimately you're gonna see Harden, Curiel, and Brown, and that's three guys that are all going to play professional baseball at a high level.
Wow,
I do believe that, and I think you got the best shortstop in the country. I think it's very important to have the middle of the infield. The middle of the field has to be really, really good. Shortstop.
Who do you like at DH?
I don't know. Maybe the big guy. You know, I don't know. I don't know who's going to play first.
Zach York's going to play first.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who's going to DH.
I mean, I've heard names like Omar Cerna. I mean, there's guys I like, but it's just I guess you got to hit.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All going to get started soon. Jay will meet with reporters a week from today.
William Schmidt had a great fall, by the way, which is extremely encouraging.
Yeah. You don't want to put the expectation on him like by saying it, but it's a very similar track to Cade Anderson a year ago, where Cade, the stuff was undeniable, struggled against SEC hitters as a freshman, made the meteoric leap in year 2, and was the 3rd pick of the draft. Mm-hmm. Schmidt's not draft eligible this year, so you have him for 3 years, but he develops into a consistent weekend guy for you. Dude,
he put on some weight. I saw him the other day at the stadium in the locker room. He put on some weight. He looks really good. I mean, he looks. I coached him since he was 9, 10. So it's fun to watch him grow up. But he looks like a man. He's grown up.
It's amazing what happens when you go from like 17 to 18 to 19. Yeah, you grow up physically. So it's exciting, man. Baseball is going to be great this year. I mean, they're always going to be great as long as Jay's here, and it's going to be a fun year. All right, it's after further review. Let's wrap up the week. We'll knock out our final break. We'll come back, do a little Ask Ryan, get your questions in for Theriot. Email us, tweet us, text us, 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. It's AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
AFR.
Weekend is here. I got an idea for you. Do you like a brunch?
I'm not a big brunch guy, but I like the food that's served at brunch. Yeah. Like, I don't like the time that you eat it. But I do like the food.
Okay. Sunday brunch at the Gregory at Watermark Baton Rouge. Increíble. You will be surprised how affordable it is. Amazing dining atmosphere. So it's right there in the Watermark Baton Rouge. Beautiful. Open space, bright, light, natural light, airy. Great spot for a Sunday brunch. And a lot of times people say, Matt, that sounds good, but I just don't want to go downtown. You got to deal with parking and all that stuff. Here's the great news. If you're eating at the Gregory at Watermark Baton Rouge, it's complimentary valet parking. So you pull right up to the door, treat it like a VIP, and it's complimentary valet parking. So this Sunday, how about a little Sunday brunch downtown at Watermark Baton Rouge? It's Watermark Baton Rouge.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Down the stretch we come, final segment here on a Friday edition of AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Sip of Evermore.
It's so tasty and crisp. Just a crisp on the lips. Just a nice drink.
Gotta stay hydrated.
It's a good pour.
It's a good pour. That's what I say about whiskey. It's a good pour. You're saying about Evermore.
You can.
Ask Ryan. Roy Dupuy said, ask Ryan. So the governor fired the AD that had the forethought to place LSU ahead of everyone in NIL 18 months ago.
So I love Scott. I think he's awesome. And I'll also say that there's a lot of really, really smart people in that department. It's a full team of, like, really, you named some of them earlier. They could probably all take credit for that.
Scott Woodward is the guy who put those wheels in motion 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. It's Scott Woodward, objectively, is one of the top athletic directors in the country. That was a vendetta that the governor had against Scott Woodward. What's done is done, and Verge has done an amazing job, too. So those two things can be true at the same time. Craig, ask Ryan, what does it mean for LSU and Jay Johnson if they get a third natty in 4 years?
I mean, that's a dynasty. I mean, I've said it always. If Jay gets the support that he needs to have success and compete, just not more than everybody, just equal to everybody, he's gonna win He's going to be the winningest coach in LSU baseball history.
You think he'll win more natties than Skip?
I do.
If
he gets the support that he needs.
Skip, and I say Skip retired early. He left after 2001, which was your last season, and it was relative. I mean, obviously, but I think Skip was early 60s when he retired. So Skip's 86 now. Is that right?
Yeah, 86, 87, something like that.
And he retired so he's been retired for 25 years. He retired in 01. So he was mid late 50s when he retired. It'd be right about 60. It was right about 60 when he retired. So the point is, like, Jay's
48.
Yeah, late 40s. Yep. So I mean, if Jay coached another 20 years here, yeah, I mean, it could happen. I gotta keep him.
Gotta give him what he needs. Please.
If you're a business owner and you have any marketing budget,
give it to Jay.
Highly recommend. If you love LSU baseball, highly recommend.
Please. If you want to keep winning. I mean, I'm serious. Like, if you want to keep winning, that's what needs to happen.
Greg Duga asked Ryan, rumor has it Will Wade's unhappy at NC State. Is the Generals' return imminent?
Oh, man, that'd be so good. That would be so good. He's had some spicy press conferences recently.
Scott asked Ryan, give your prediction on stats if he played in every game at second base for Jay Johnson and LSU this season.
If who did?
If you did.
Oh, like me now? My age now? I mean, I'd hit above 200.
Breezy asked Ryan, what do you call fake spaghetti?
I don't know what.
Impasta.
Yeah. I'm going to use that one. Love that.
I don't like that.
I like it.
Greg Lehman asked Ryan, man, that Lane Kiffin is getting some good players. Am I right?
Very good.
This is stupid.
What an idiot.
What an idiot. I like it, though. And I like saying Greg Lehman. Greg Lehman. That's going to do it for us. Have a good weekend. Use Paulie thing. Have a good weekend.
You have a good weekend.
You have a good weekend.
No, you do.
You have a good weekend.
AFR.
Getting on down the road. Let me remind you about Arco Power Systems. ARCCO. ARCCO. Arco.com. 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 What's the website?
Arco.com.
Got it. This is Generac Industrial Generator Power. It's a critical
big
backup
stuff.
Energy solutions for the industrial sector. So you got a commercial building, an industrial facility. Power goes out. What do? You call Arco.
You better.
Or you go to arco.com. ARCCO. We're talking grocery stores, gas stations, banks, hospitals, schools, industrial facilities, anything. Got a business, power goes out. What do? Arco has turnkey solutions. They can install a standby generator. They can lease you a standby generator. They can service your generator. Arco.com. Arco.com. ARCCO. Arco.com.
Fall is all about cozy comforts, but when you're prioritizing your health, it's easy to feel like you're missing out. With Hero Bread, you can enjoy all your fall favorites because they're made with Hero Bread sliced bread loaves, tortillas, bagels, dinner rolls, and more. Try their all-new Hero Noodles with 12 grams of protein and just 80 calories. So skip replacing every carb with cauliflower and indulge in your breakfast, lunch, and dinner time favorites while still hitting your goals. From breakfast bagels and meal prepped enchiladas to mouth-watering burgers and cheesy noodles. You won't believe Hero Bread's options have 0 to 5 grams net carbs and are high fiber from the taste and texture. They've even got small batch drops of indulgent favorites like the popular Hero Croissant. And right now, Hero Bread is offering 10% off your order. Go to hero.co and use code FALL25 at checkout. That's fall25 at hero.co. All figures are per serving of Hero Bread. Contains 2 to 18 grams of fat per serving. See the product nutrition panels on hero.co for more information.